Good afternoon and welcome everyone to this press conference on posting of workers. The directive has been adopted earlier today. I have both EP rapporteurs here with me, as well as Mrs. Panayotova, Deputy Minister for Bulgarian Presidency, and Commissioner Thyssen. Without further ado, I would like to give the floor back to them for the opening remarks, starting with the rapporteurs, then Madam Minister and Commissioner. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, merci à tous d'être là. Voilà, vous avez, j'allais dire, une femme heureuse, mais non, je ne parle pas en mon nom propre, je crois que vous avez 4 femmes heureuses ici aujourd'hui à cette tribune. Le résultat du vote qui a eu lieu en plénière en fin de matinée est tout à fait fantastique. Nous ne nous attendions pas à avoir une telle caution, 70% des votes qui soutiennent notre travail. C'est une véritable validation, donc un score énorme, une validation sans appel d'un nouveau chapitre de l'Europe qui s'écrit. Et ce nouveau chapitre, c'est l'Europe sociale qui vient conforter le marché intérieur. La ligne politique, elle était claire, elle avait été donnée par la Commission, par le président Jean-Claude Juncker, le même salaire pour le même travail sur le même lieu de travail. C'était ça notre feuille de route. Mais notre feuille de route, elle était très compliquée. Parce qu'il fallait qu'on arrive à tenir cet objectif tout en rassemblant. Pensez qu'on est parti avec 11 États membres contre la révision de la directive pour arriver à 70% des votes favorables à cette directive. C'est ça le travail qui a été accompli. Et ça signifie que non seulement le vote valide la ligne politique, mais aussi la méthode de travail. Je dois dire qu'avec Agnès, nous avons travaillé la main dans la main, vraiment, en toute confiance et en grande amitié. Ça n'aurait pas pu se faire autrement. Mais surtout, nous avons en plus été très soutenus et par la commissaire Marianne Thyssen, qui a été présente à tous les trilogues, qui s'est terriblement investie sur ce sujet. Là, on avait toute la même énergie. Et à la présidence bulgare, un grand merci aussi, parce que votre ministre Roussinova a été présente à tous les trilogues. C'est-à-dire que vous avez 4 femmes heureuses, mais 4 femmes heureuses parce qu'elles ont été 4 femmes engagées. On n'a rien lâché. Comme quoi, et c'est là-dessus que je conclurai avant de passer la parole à Agnès, comme quoi le courage politique paie. Le courage politique aujourd'hui, ce n'est pas d'aller dans le sens des populistes, ce n'est pas d'aller dans le sens du repli national, et à 1 an des élections européennes, plus que jamais, il faut du courage politique pour que l'Europe vive.
Thank you, and just as an introduction from my part, let me say I'm happy we are here after a good outcome of the voting session today. I must say we had made some calculations and this was better than the best outcome we had foreseen, so I'm very happy with the outcome, but I'm mainly very happy with the outcome because we voted today on ending a division between first and second class workers, because this is where the fight was all about. We wanted to end wage dumping, we wanted to end unfair competition, we wanted to have a fair treatment of workers at the workplace. And it took us some time, 27 months here in the Parliament. But to be fair, I also worked very much on this file before coming to the European Parliament and being a trade unionist from the Netherlands. So this has been a long fight where a lot of people earlier told me, don't do this, don't open up this directive, this is too difficult, you will not be able to reach a balanced position and a broad majority in the European Parliament. And here we are. And here we are, of course, I must say, because of the help of my political group. I must say I was honored to be appointed by the S&D family as the co-rapporteur for this file. Our family invested a lot of their political capital in getting this proposal on the table. And I'm very happy I was able to work on it. I was very happy with indeed the investment, also the personal investment of the Commissioner in this file, with the presidency, because it really shows it can make a difference. If people set their mind to something, it can make a difference. And to those people who say, European Parliament, what's the use taking so long? Yes, it took us quite a long time, but I think we really can say now, after the vote in the European Parliament, giving the member states 2 years' time to transpose this into national legislation, we really made a difference today in ending unequal treatment of workers and sending from that the signal that workers should be regarded and treated equally if they work at the same workplace and doing the same job. And to everyone who's skeptical and saying this is not the only problem at the labor market, I do realize that. This is not the last proposal we're going to deal with, and I hope we can finalize some of the files as the European Labour Authority, the Coordination Social Security, the Written Statement Directive, also during this mandate. But this has really made a difference, and I think it's indeed something to be proud of, which I am. Thank you.
Chère Madame Chartier, chère Madame Jongeriusson, chère Madame la Commissaire, Mesdames et Messieurs, permettez-moi tout d'abord de vous remercier de l'invitation à participer à cette conférence de presse. Malheureusement, mon homologue n'a pas eu la possibilité de participer personnellement, mais je suis totalement d'accord avec ce que vous avez partagé à l'égard de votre travail commun et les résultats qu'on a reçus aujourd'hui. Je voudrais adresser mes félicitations spéciales au rapporteur pour le vote d'aujourd'hui. In my short intervention on behalf of the presidency, I would like to focus your attention on three main points. The first one is that we reach a very important balance between the two key elements which make our single market stronger and more effective: the protection of the social rights of the workers and also the freedom for the European business to provide cross-border services. So the Bulgarian presidency is very proud to have contributed to a balanced set of rules which will improve the protection of posted workers while ensuring a smooth functioning of the single European market. The final text of the directive meets the expectations people have in the European Union and enables fair competition among the companies. Secondly, we demonstrated together the key role of the good interinstitutional cooperation for delivering to the expectations of our citizens and business. The Council reached a delicate compromise on this very essential file for the freedom of provision of services and also the protection of the posted workers. So difficult negotiations took place as well with the Parliament, but It's fair to say that both of us as co-legislator, you in the Parliament and we in the Council, we only had in mind the general interest of the workers and of our business, because one cannot function without the other. And I would like to express really our satisfaction with the agreement reached with the Parliament that was broadly supported in the Council. We as a presidency are particularly pleased that more member states actually were able to support the final agreement with the Parliament compared to the initial position of the Council. And here I would like also to express our gratitude to all the presidencies before us. And thirdly, we succeeded to take into consideration the specifics of the transport sector, which as a result will be reflected in sectorial legislation, the so-called lex specialis on posting of workers in the road transport. And we are pleased that we reach an agreement which not only establishes the principle of equal pay for equal work, but also reflects the need of specific sectorial legislation in the transport sector. That was one of the major concerns for both of us as co-legislators, and we believe that appropriate solution will be found soon, which will guarantee clear and realistic rules for this particular sector, considering the fact that the transport sector has a key role for generating growth and jobs in the European Union economy. Et en conclusion, permettez-moi de vous remercier au nom de la vice-ministre Russinova, qui a eu le plaisir de diriger les trialogues, au nom du Conseil pour le dialogue productif, le bon esprit de coopération et l'atmosphère constructive au cours de négociations. Je vous remercie à toutes. Merci.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as said before, there are some happy women in front of you, and I can just confirm this. You see a happy commissioner once more. As Madame Morin-Chartier mentioned, it was a difficult task. When we started, some said this is kamikaze. Now they are going, the Commission proposes things that they will never get through the legislative machinery. But we did it because we worked very hard and we worked all the time in a constructive way together. And I think this is very important because people see that when you want to overcome difficulties, when there seems to be a divide, you can overcome. And I think this is just what we were doing, closing the gap between East and West and North and South. And this is very important for Europe. And we did it by better organizing the internal market. Because just as I said in the plenary, the internal market is not a jungle. It's an organized internal market. It's a regulated one. We have rules, and after 25 years, we had to look whether those rules were still fit for purpose. We are now amending, or we decided to amend altogether, a directive of 1996. The rules were there, but they were not fit for purpose anymore, so you have to adapt to the times of today. And that is what we did. And what we did is, I am convinced, in the interest of companies and in the interest of workers. It is indeed an instrument to protect workers, and it's clearly said now thanks to an amendment of the Parliament. But it's also internal market legislation. It is creating clear, fair and enforceable rules for everybody. It creates a level playing field for the companies, also the very small ones, and this is what they were asking us. So now some people say it's not good for companies. It were the companies that were asking it. It were the employees, also the workers, that asked it. Clear, fair and enforceable rules is in the interest of everybody. The internal market is not a jungle. The internal market must be organized, and I think we improved that organization, and that is very important today. There was indeed a big majority that voted in favor in this House this morning. This was really, I think it's just giving us a last final support to say it was the right thing to do. It was really necessary. Parliament is convinced with a big majority, an absolute majority even. In the Council, 22 member states voted in favor in Coreper. We will confirm that the next EPSCO. 22 member states, 2 against, Hungary and Poland, and the other 4 abstained. So also there is an overwhelming majority. And this shows that we could bridge the gap, that we came together, and together we found right solutions to protect workers and to create a level playing field for companies. Now, I would like to pay homage to the 2 co-rapporteurs of the Parliament, Elisabeth Morin-Chartier and Agnes Jongerius, who made the agreement possible. They had a strong determination, a clear understanding of the challenges, and the necessary spirit of compromise. And the same nice words for the Bulgarian presidency, of course, for the predecessors also, because every presidency has done its bit and they all worked constructively to come to this agreement of today. But of course, the devil is always in the end, and the trilogues are not the most easy part. And there we had the Bulgarian presidency, and I want to thank the Bulgarians also for their support and for their engagement in this dossier. I think that we can say, I am convinced that we really made a substantive improvement of the rules of 1996. And if the colleagues here tell you, well, it took us 28 months, I went back, sometimes I found time to read a book about the past of what we are doing here. And I discovered that the 1996 directive, the proposal was made in 1991. Our colleagues of that time needed 5 years to come to a conclusion. And then they used, again, 3 years, 3 or 4, I think 3, to have it and to apply the rules. So it means from 1991 to 1999, when it entered into force, the old directive. This means almost 8 years. Now we have 2 years and a couple of months, and again 2 years, and the rules will be enforceable. And I think this is what we did all together with 28 member states. At that time, 25 years ago, there were only 12. So I think this shows the commitment, the conviction, and I think it also shows that it was really necessary to adapt this directive. I'm happy we did it, and I am sure that those who have to apply the rules, life will be more easy also for them. It's not about creating, some try to say, a needless administrative burden. On the contrary, it is not against enterprises. It is in the interest of both enterprises and companies. And I think this is what finally was understood by all those who supported this proposal and the result of the negotiations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now there is time for your questions. If there are any, please state your name in media. Okay, doesn't seem to be the case. I think it was very comprehensive. So we have still 10 minutes, so if you want to add something, there's no time.
Je peux peut-être rajouter quelque chose. Madame le commissaire a dit le travail que ça avait été fait pour faire la directive de 96. Mais il faut qu'on rajoute que 2 fois la révision est venue sur la table de travail et n'a jamais abouti. C'était la 3e fois que ce texte arrivait en plus. Donc vous voyez qu'on avait à remonter un courant extrêmement difficile. Et puis, moi je dois vous dire une chose, c'est que ce qui est extrêmement important, c'est d'oser parler d'Europe. Quand on a des bonnes nouvelles, comme aujourd'hui, il faut pouvoir parler d'Europe, expliquer que l'Europe avance, que l'Europe s'actualise, que l'Europe travaille pour nos concitoyens, que l'Europe va plus vite dans son travail. Oui, il y a des good news aussi au niveau de l'Europe et il faut pouvoir en parler. Donc, c'est à vous que nous confions ce travail. Je crois qu'on a fait le job et il faut qu'on puisse ensuite faire savoir que ce job est fait tous ensemble. Merci.
Merci.
Then perhaps one small last remark from my side. Last November, the institutions of Europe came together in Gothenburg for the declaration, the proclamation of the social pillar. And it's a nice blue booklet. And I think a social Europe is important in a booklet. But by making these changes in the Posting of Workers Directive. We are changing something in practice. So in 2 years' time, colleagues can be colleagues again instead of competitors, and people working in the different sectors of economy can be treated equally and fairly, like getting the appropriate wages and not a deduction of travel, board and lodging costs. So I think the proclamation is important, but I think also for the trust in the European project, concrete progress is also important, and this today we decided to do so. So I think this is social Europe in the making.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for all participants. Bye.